Here to see me.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean,
Have you seen some of my TV work? But yeah, it counted for nothing, clearly. But anyway, as I say, we will be playing some live music from this Jose Gonzalez set a bit later in the programme. We shall go over to Sammy in a second and find out who she's been able to track down, if anyone. But we'll squeeze in some more live music recorded here. Noah and the Whale, who seem to be having quite the couple of weeks at the moment with some good tunes, new album coming out. They did a live hub session for Gideon Coe, and here's a tune from it. This one is Give a Little Love. Noah and the Whale recorded exclusively for Six Music in our little makeshift hub here at Summer Sunday, and the tune was Give a Little Love. Steve Show, Six Music, as I say, coming from the Summer Sunday Festival in Leicester, and we sent the delightful Sammy out and about to see what she could explore and what she could discover. And Sammy, can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can indeed. This is amazing technology. What have you found, if anything?
I found someone who could lick their elbow. I was quite pleased with that.
That's
then
great.
I found a woman who could do the splits, so we're getting up in the world. Then I wanted to find somebody with actual talent, so I went over to the Phrased and Confused tent. I found two men who were a bit special.
Okay, brilliant. In the kind of special needs way, or?
I'm hoping not. They seem quite normal as of now, but I've only had a few words with them.
I can see you there, Sammy. Do you want to bring them in?
Do you want them to
Yeah,
come in?
bring them
Right,
through.
Come on, boys.
Particularly as we can hear the sounds of Jose Gonzalez in the
Gonzalez
background,
is
ruining
making
it
a
for everyone.
rocket. I know. Right, come on.
Absolutely
I'm back
furious.
on the van.
All right, we'll buy a TV. Shut up.
Right, I'm in the van. Steve, I'd like you to meet two lovely men.
Hello, guys. Thank you so much indeed for coming over. What's your name?
I'm Mark Grist.
You're Mark.
I'm Mixie.
And you're Mixie. Brilliant. And yes, please. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for coming over. Have you just come off stage?
Yeah, we just finished our
Grab
act.
these
Yeah.
mics here, guys, if you would. Just come up to these
Yeah.
ones. So, what's the sort of what's it called? Dazed and Phrased?
Phrased and Confused.
Phrased and Confused. And so, what is that tent? Is it?
Well, it's mainly a spoken word and poetry tent. We
Okay.
basically we got a commission. It was sort of a competition in a way. They wanted to commission 4 acts to link up poetry and spoken word, modern day music and lyrics. So yeah, we hooked up a poet and an MC and sort of tried to educate people a little bit, if you like.
Okay, right. So I can say, I mean, I don't want to presume, but I feel you've got the baseball cap there, you've got the chain. I'm wondering.
Stereotypical MC one.
I'm beginning to wonder if maybe you are from the hip hop community.
No guns, no knives.
No guns, no, exactly.
No clothes outside, anything like that. No.
Oh, that's a disappointment.
Standard.
And
There was another way of being able to tell, because when I shook Mark's hand, I got a nice gentlemanly handshake. When I shook Mixie's hand, a nice hip-hop handshake.
Oh.
You can tell right there. So
Yeah.
two lovely handshakes, very
we
different.
roll.
You have to teach me that hip hop handshake. That sounds quite
You
exciting.
can learn.
so, is there do the two naturally fuse? I mean, are you more of a traditional poet?
Yeah, a bit. I mean, I do a range of stuff. I do stuff in schools and stuff, but yeah, it tends to be more traditional, like slower kind of pace and things, beautiful things and nature and stuff like that. Whereas hip hop's much faster, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, I suppose. It's little differences really. I mean, it's all just wordy stuff, isn't it?
well, you're mainly talking about inner city grime, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I've
yeah.
learned some good vocabulary from the course. It's spangled.
Spangled,
Me
yeah, I'm
and John,
teaching him
never knew
words.
That was a good one.
Okay,
Waste man's quite good.
Hang on, because I'm quite keen to be down with the kids. So spangled means what? Can we say it on
Spangled
the air?
means off your face.
Okay.
Sort of thing, yeah.
Ooh, I was
shouldn't
spangled
say-
last night.
Spangled.
Yeah.
It's a good word, isn't it?
It's very good. And what are the others?
What's that? Waste man. Instead of calling someone I don't want to swear on the
Sure,
radio,
no.
but instead of waste man's quite clean, but it gets your point across.
Okay, so waste man would be maybe
A
an
waste man
a-hole.
would be one of them,
Sure.
idiot, whatever you want to use.
An
for it,
idiot, yeah. Oh, waste man. That is what I'm thinking about Gonzalez at the moment, actually. I don't understand. So anyway, is there anything you can give us that would kind of demonstrate the sort of stuff you've been laying
Yeah,
down?
I mean, partway through we start out and we're really not. The styles aren't working, and this is kind of when we first try and mix the styles.
Yeah, we try to collaborate.
Would you give us
get on with
something? If you would, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, cool. So we got a commission and we sat down to work it out. It was a bit daunting, but I said, Mark, man, we can do this. We know it. We just got to prove it. We got to show it. But there's a lot of different angles to work on because I never worked with a poet.
Well, first off, Mixie, you've got to slow it down a bit. Us poets like to chew our words. We don't just throw it away by spitting it at the nearest girl who'll dance round her handbag. We rhyme carefully.
In between performing to Grandad's.
Don't get cheeky with me. Poetry's got much higher standards.
Most of your audience spent years hiding behind sandbags. Don't stand there thinking you're that bad trying to look fresh in your glad rags. My words hit hard, so I'd advise you to...
Many of your writing process lacks form and finesse. You're like a hungry date rapist. Just let the words get undressed. And if you're getting on poetry's case, I think you better back off. Under 200 foot of tarpaulin, the least you can do is take that cap off.
Yeah, well, at least girls dig my style. You can go home and jack off. Don't get it twisted. Vocal intelligence I don't have a lack of, so don't stereotype me as one of them gangster rap
Well,
mobs.
don't stereotype poetry as having an elderly backdrop. When it comes to hip-hop, I've got a stack of complaints. The guns, the bitches, from the hood you ain't.
From the hood? No, I'm not, but you can think that. That's all good. I'm trying to break my style down to you the way I think it should be. Go Guns? I don't carry one. Bitches, I'm not ready to marry one. And I'm not from the hood, so that's not how I carry on. Bruv, you're embarrassing. A poet teacher that still thinks he's one of the lads. Sorry that I call you bruv. I think the title more fitting is dad. And it's a bit sad that people have got such a problem with the things that I've written. You call it rapping, I call it spitting, and I keep a beat sweet, don't flow in no rhythm.
Listen, Mixie. To many, hip-hop is about co-opting untrue culture, which is cultivated by the vultures in the industry, who target affluent teens and then try and sell them things. It's a fad, it's a dud, and let me make it just as clear as mud. Picture the words from Pulp Fiction from the lips of Elmer Fudd. It's the same juxtaposition every time a rural 12-year-old calls me blood. Poetry, in contrast, is flexible. It's had to be to endure. Whatever you're doing, you think is so fresh, it's been done many times before.
You're a waste, man. You've never seen my style. It is something fresh. I'll tell you the score, but you need to stop chatting that crap, because I'm ready to smack you in your jaw.
Thanks.
And that's one of the
Come on, that's great. Wonderful. Thank you, guys. That's absolutely dynamite. And do you know what? Let me just tell you right now, and you can put this on any posters, I think that both of your flows are impeccable. And those are big words, those are important words. Harry, do you want to explain?
Yeah, essentially, Steve was in New York a short time ago, and we managed to get an interview with LL Cool J. Steve, we thought he was going to embarrass himself. He actually rapped with LL Cool J. Well, he didn't rap with him, but which song
I
did he
rapped
do?
for him. I rapped for LL Cool J.
Yeah.
You sort it all out.
No, it was down the phone line. Admittedly, I wasn't on stage with him, but I laid down Mama Said Knock You Out, and the words of the man himself were,
your flow is impeccable. Your flow is inscrutable.
all right, so now, guys, I am passing that on to you. All right.
Wow, we'll have to try and use
Let's
that.
go
at some
find some
point,
kids to
someone.
say it to, innit?
Yes, absolutely. But listen, that was absolutely fantastic. Such a wonderful flavour.
Thanks very much, Steve.
One of the incredible.
You made
Recorded on the main stage on Friday night. That's King Creosote, and the tune is Twin Tub. It's Steve Show 6 Music, and we'll be back after the news talking to Joan as policewoman, and no doubt there'll be some more hilarious Summer Sunday hijinks. Back after the news.
On digital radio.
Tom Petty on 6 Music, Steve Merchant here from the Summer Sunday Festival, and it's been a hectic show, but I think we have hopefully conveyed a flavour of the festival, and also played some great live music. Hopefully we'll still get a tune from Jose Gonzalez, who is still on the main stage, slightly ruining this broadcast, but don't worry, there's plenty more fun to be had. Please welcome as well, she's just joined us here, and there's absolutely no reason why she should, but she has anyway, Joan as policewoman. Thank you very much. Do I call you that? Is that the name of the band, or do I call you yourself?
You can call me Joan as policewoman. It might make us a little bit uncomfortable.
Would you prefer just Joan, Joni?
You could just call me Joan. Joni might elicit a little bit of anger or aggression.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
It's interesting that because Sammy is, her name is Sammy, but if I call her Sam,
I really hate it.
yeah.
Right.
Something about the ladies.
It's a dog name or a man name. It's not my name.
I
It's not my
gotcha.
name.
My brother calls me Joni, but that's because we grew up together.
Sure.
We haven't grown up together yet.
You feel that there's just not enough closeness between us yet?
Not quite yet.
If I pulled your hair and then ran off laughing?
Punch me in the stomach.
Okay. Well, maybe let's see how the interview pans out, and then,
Okay.
and then we'll move on from there.
Okay.
Are you a big kind of festival veteran? Is this something that you do all the time?
A certain amount. I just did. This is my third in a row in different countries
Right.
on this tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you enjoy it? Is there a different kind of vibe? Is there a different audience reaction? Is there do you feel that there's a lot of people kind of who don't really know who you are? They've just traipsed over to, we'll see what this woman's about.
Sometimes, but as long as they're not creating any sort of like disturbance in the crowd, I
Yeah.
tolerate that.
Sure. And is it quite a sort of stripped down sound? Is it just you, or do you have a whole band?
I have a drummer and a bass player, drummer Parker Kindred and bass player Rainy Ortica, and they both sing too, so we sound like a massive orchestra actually.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
wow, great.
Yeah, just with three.
That's amazing.
It is kind of
And when are you playing? Are you playing tonight?
at around 8.
Okay. And do you get anxious before a performance? I'm always interested to know with musicians, because I've done a little bit of performing here and there, and I get terrified. For weeks I'm thinking about it, I'm not really concentrating, I'm rude to people. Do you get that anxiety, or?
I always think I don't. And I don't feel nerves. I used to feel nerves.
Yeah.
But I don't feel nerves anymore. But I do act a little bit like a...
Really?
It's just a little bit. If someone's just,
Yeah.
like doing something, then I'll realize, oh, I am a little nervous.
So if you were sort of super Madonna famous, you would be a nightmare, would you? You'd be...
I don't know.
Would your brother be writing a catty biography about you?
I feel like the more people you play for, the less interaction you have with them, so it sort of feels a little bit even less, when you're playing for like 13 people, then it's much more nerve-wracking.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
you're actually dealing with their
You
acne
can see their
or
eyes.
whatever.
They're dealing with their acne. Absolutely. Oh, well, let's hear a tune from the album. The current album is To Survive, and it's beautiful. I was trying to think of the perfect word to say. I would say beautiful.
Beautiful works just fine.
It's lovely, and your flow is impeccable. And we're going to play a tune from it. This is one that you recommended to us, Holiday. You say the kids like this. Do you mean your own kids, or just the kids, the youth?
I don't have kids, and I'm not going to, but that's just the kids.
The kids, all right.
You can be 60 and be
I
a
see what you
kid,
mean.
in my opinion.
Sure. Okay, well, let's hear. This is Jonas Policewoman from her current album, To Survive, and this is Holiday. From Jonas Policewoman's current album, To Survive, that is the track Holiday, and Joan is with us now. Joan, we have a series of questions that we like to ask each of our guests, and just instinctively respond. First thing that comes into your head. Hopefully, gives us a sense of who you are, gets under the skin. There's a certain kind of existential quality to some of these questions. They can be quite deep, quite spiritual. First up, what would you ban?
What would I ban? Cigarettes.
They are banned from a lot of places now.
But I
pubs and
would
so on.
ban them from people being able to smoke them.
Do you smoke yourself?
No, I quit. See, it's so easy for me to say, but I'm so much happier because I stopped.
Yeah.
And everyone, do you know anyone that's like, damn it, I stopped smoking?
I don't understand why the messages they now have on the cigarette packets that say these will kill you in big black letters, I don't understand why.
Hold on.
Really?
Yes.
Kind of weirdos. Rock and roll weirdos,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah. But I think it's Jerry Seinfeld who makes the point that no one's listening to that message, and yet dry clean only, everyone's paying attention to that one.
That guy was funny, or is probably
Hey,
still.
listen, maybe you've got some inside information. If you could jump into any film, Joan, and just live the life in that film, what film would you choose?
I guess probably, what is that called? The Dark Crystal.
The Dark Crystal's a really unusual choice. The one with the kind of Jim Henson puppets?
Yeah.
Really? That's quite an why that film would even come into your head, I don't know.
That's right.
What, any more reason than that? Is that something you watched
Just because
together?
it's just so like Rush fantasy.
Yeah.
It's just like bad.
Yeah.
I love bad.
Bad in a good sense?
Yes.
Okay. Bad with a double D.
Yeah, do you remember the hair on those puppets?
I know, it was one of the freakiest things.
Oh, and the Skeksis?
You're name checking very specific references.
Skeksis were the sort of bad.
The bad
Sort of,
characters.
yeah.
There's no one out there listening to this who knows what the Skeksis are, except one guy who's just thinking, this woman's
who's
my
like,
ideal.
That's right, and I will find him.
Joan, if you could exchange lives with anyone, who would it be?
Let's see. If I could exchange lives, I'm not supposed to think. Joan, don't think. Maybe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Who, sorry?
Kareem, like massive sports freak.
A massive sports freak?
Yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, I
I
don't
can't
know
say
who
his
that is.
name. I'm gonna think of someone.
That's the person she chose, the one person she can't pronounce the name of.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna think of someone else. I can't. That was perfect. I have to think of someone else's name I can't pronounce and pick them too.
Okay, well, listen, let me throw you a different question.
Okay.
Is there anything that wakes you up in a cold sweat, any kind of recurring nightmare?
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. You're not going to share with us?
I don't want. No.
Come on.
No.
Joan. Come on. Joni.
It's horrible.
This might be the release. This might get it out of your system.
You need to get this out of your system.
You guys are terrible. Well, it's I have issues with like, oh my God, I'm about to sleep with someone that's not my boyfriend, and I don't want to.
Wow, that is such a specific anxiety.
It's horrible, and I don't want to.
Listen, I'm going to explore this more fully.
Explore.
I can't believe it. She's talking about how she's fighting to. She